Before we even start about Resident Evil 4, I want to say thank you. Thank you for 50,000 subscribers on VideoGameLeaks. We truly, truly appreciate all the support, and we can't be more excited about the future of the channel. If you guys have things you want to see, definitely let us know. Today, it's all about Resident Evil 4, the remake. That's right. We have new updates and leaks and rumors. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have those notifications on, and it's probably going to be one of the most controversial games of all time. It hasn't even come out yet. We have no official look at what kind of changes are going to be going to the classic, but with how beloved and influential RE4 was when it launched in 2005, there's no way around it. Capcom is going full speed ahead with a remake of RE4 in the same kind of reinventing vein as their RE2 and 3 remakes. Now, throughout the past year or so, we've gotten a ton of leaks from various sources suggesting they know what elements will be changed from the original, and we just got another one from a much more reliable source than normal, allegedly. On August 30th, someone claiming to be an IGN writer took to the official Gaming Leaks subreddit to describe what they have been told about early builds of the game by other IGN employees who've been shown a test demo by Capcom. Now, this source is not firsthand. They allegedly had access to one of the very few people who have legitimately seen the RE4 remake, and this is what they had to say. Take it with a grain of salt. According to the source, RE4's story will tie in much closer to RE2 and 3. The original RE4 was more or less an isolated incident with very little connection to the other games, but the remake will apparently try to fix that by adding in a file depicting Leon and Claire's life post-Raccoon City, which implies they kept in touch after the events of RE2. Now, this will add a bit more continuity between 2 and 4 and versions of Leon Kennedy, which is it's always been a bit at odds with each other. There was also a number of alternate outfits, a Resident Evil tradition, and the IGN leaker confirmed Leon's RPD outfit, civilian outfit, Mafia costume will be included. Now, Ashley will unfortunately no longer have her alternate armor outfit. And the leak also said Ashley's attire overall has been reworked to be less revealing. The leaker also claims franchise big baddie Albert Wesker will briefly appear at the end of the campaign, spoiler alert, further tying the story to the larger Resident Evil narrative and also kind of teasing an RE5 remake, which I would be stoked for, and you know it's probably going to happen. Soundtrack has also been reportedly redone to be much creepier than the original, but in the same style. Overall, the main story will be slightly longer than Resident Evil Village, but shorter than the original RE4, which that's interesting to me. Frankly, I have no idea how an IGN employee who saw an early build of the game during a secret Capcom presentation would even know that, but okay. Why would Capcom reveal the game's length during a press event? Last bit of intel from the leaker is that the overall tone of the game has been adjusted to play more off of Leon's shock from the events of RE2 and the fall of Raccoon City. He also apparently thinks Ada died in the chaos, making her appearance in the RE4 campaign more of a shock. So from the sound of it, Capcom is doing their best to make Resident Evil 4 a bit more scary and more tied into the larger universe. I get it. The RE2 and 3 remakes had rather similar tones, and it seems RE4 is being adjusted to fit with the new timeline. They're trying to reconstruct the universe here. Now, I'm a little iffy on how many story changes there apparently going to be. Honestly, really liked how RE4 was its kind of own isolated story from the rest of the Resident Evil franchise, but with that being essentially deleted from the remake, if this is true, it's going to have to really blow us away with whatever is replacing it. But if you don't want the leak to be true, I'm going to tell you that it probably isn't. Yeah, we like to give our opinions here after we give you all the facts that we've, not facts, but the stuff that we've put together for you out on the internet. Here we go. I'm about to myth bust. There's a few things about the leak that give it away. The first of which is being the suggestion of an early showing to the press by Capcom. Okay? RE4 is one of the most anticipated games of 2023. You really expect people to believe that Capcom did a secret press event? There's no evidence of it anywhere. No blurry screenshots or bits of a trailer or gameplay that looks like it was shot inside a potato inside a toaster? Come on. It doesn't happen. When you put the word press event and you put it with early or access or anything like that, stuff leaks. So right away, I'm not sure I believe this. But then there's also the thing that I pointed out earlier in the video. Why would this leaker know the length of the game? Why is that something Capcom would ever reveal prior to release, even if it was just to the press? I've been to multiple early showings and early reveals and events for multiple games, dozens of games. Not once has the presentation ever included the length of the game. Ever. I can't think of one time from Titanfall 1, every Call of Duty early access I've ever been to, Not one. Battlefield, none. So, why? Why would they do that? I mean, even if it was just the press, what legitimate reason is there to reveal something like that unless there's something that's radically different from expectations? If the answer is to how long is the RE4 Remake was something ridiculous like 50 hours, then yes, I could see it coming up at a press event. But for a game that's going to be pretty much the standard Resident Evil runtime, it's a very strange piece of information to be revealed at a press event, and I don't think it actually happened. I think it was shoehorned in there. But you know why the leaker mentioned they knew the campaign length? Because they knew that something that nobody had leaked yet, so they could get some extra attention on their alleged info dump. That's my thought. Same goes for Ashley's iconic knight armor that the leaker said was being cut from the game. Why would Capcom ever say something like that in an early press event for a highly anticipated game? There's no reason for anybody to know that. They're not going to come out and say, you know that iconic knight armor that Ashley had in the original? Well, we're not going to put it in this. Come on. Are you guys starting to read between the lines here? Are you starting to see what I'm cooking up? It doesn't fit. So, if you were hoping for RE4 to be more officially tied to the previous game's narrative, you were probably excited when I read the leak. But I'm sorry to disappoint you if you were one of those people that thought that, because I'm 98.2.7%. There's not another point in there. I don't know why I did that. You guys understand. I'm 99% sure that this IGN writer, in quotes, air quotes with my fingers here, is actually full of crap. Now, I'm sure certain parts of things like Leon's alternate costumes and a Wesker cameo are likely to become true, which those are easy guesses. The leak as a whole seems a little too fishy for me to take at face value. Now, I think everything here is technically possible. Don't get me wrong. We'll come back in this video and it'll all be correct, and we'll be like, well, we got that one wrong. That was a big swing and a miss. I wouldn't put it past Capcom to do anything these days, but I don't believe the current leak, nor do I take it as confirmation that any of these changes are coming to fruition. What I really want to know is more about the gameplay features, the mechanics. I want to make sure that it's still true to the game, but it's also updated and more smooth and modernized. That's the trick when it comes to these remakes, not necessarily the story. And you don't really redo the stories for these. You don't. That's not what people are looking for when they go to capture that reclassic or that classic nostalgia. They're not. So there you go, guys. That is where we are at. That is what I think. Let me know what you guys think as well. Once again, thank you for 50,000 subscribers on the channel. Onward and upward from here, and we'll see you soon.